Hey there, race fans, and welcome to another Pecino Report special. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news, breaking news. We are endeavoring this year to bring you a couple of special reports so then we can keep our main weekly podcast actually to the racing. And when the crazy amount of news comes out that we've had the last few weeks, we're going to bring you these short, sharp special reports straight from the brain hole of the man himself, Manuel Pecino, the man whose name it is on the tin. So here we are. We're going to talk today a little bit about a man called Maverick Vinales. What's going on with Maverick? What do you do with a case like Maverick? Who knows? There's been some nuts stuff. So we've been in Austria for the last week. He raced there a week ago, and we heard that at the end of the race, he was killing his engine, revving his bike, something like that, and he got suspended by the team. He got suspended on the Thursday. He made a few statements over the weekend saying about how sorry he was. And then all of a sudden we heard, bang, Monday, he'd been picked up by Aprilia to race from 2022 onwards. So what's been going on in the background? What's happening now for him for the rest of the season? And what's it mean for Aprilia moving on? To answer all these questions and more, over to the man himself, Manuel. What is going on with Maverick?
Difficult. This is probably the most difficult one we did so far because it's like looking in a, how do you say, crystal
ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
crystal ball. Yes, and nobody knows, especially because I think not even Maverick knows what he will do in the next 24 hours. But okay, so as you explained, it was really shocking. I got the information 1 hour before getting out officially, but I just got an information said something extraordinary and shocking will happen in 1 hour.
Oh, right. Yep. And then
that press release came out. Anything.
Yeah, and I didn't know who it was about. It. I only knew that it was shocking. So imagine how many things I thought about.
How does a journalist handle that kind of information?
Yeah. Explodes.
Do you start writing stuff just in case you can guess so you can get it out first?
No, but at the end, when it came out, really, I couldn't imagine that it was something like this. You know, I don't know. I imagine something with Valentino, who is always the big stuff in this sport.
Yeah. And you were at the track, weren't you? When you got the news, you were in Austria.
Yeah, I was in Austria, and I was like, and then immediately
what was the feeling around with all the other journalists, all the other people inside the bubble? Was everybody surprised?
Yes, but well, yes and no, because remember that after that race, Maverick's father tweeted like, okay, enough, no more silence. It's incredible how they are treating my son only because he leaves the team.
Right.
But Andra, yes.
I was just going to ask, but going back to the whole incident, was there talk at the time about him revving the bike and past the rev limiter that he was trying to damage? Did anyone mention anything about that until the news came out?
No. But it's funny because when it happened, immediately, you know, the ones who lived this live were the photographers.
Mm-hmm.
The photographers are at the track.
Yep, they catch everything.
So the photographer, Honda's photographer, who was at the last corner of the circuit, and he explained that, look, I was surprised because in the last laps, Maverick seemed to do the whole straight in 5th gear. Because Andra, when you accelerate, there's a system that just cuts the injection for the engine not to explode. So you hear like something like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And normally you hear this for a second and then the rider immediately
change gears.
Change the gear. But Maverick was once, and the photographer told me, look, the first time I thought, well, strange. But then it was.
Maybe it's Mr. Gear.
Yeah, once, two eyes. So he was doing it the person. Others said that revving up the straight between corner 1 and 3, the same. He did it in 3rd gear, whatever.
So my question, was he doing it to try and blow the bike up so that he didn't have to come at the back of the pack? What, as an experienced
I-
rider,
Yeah, there
why
was
else would you do
talk about that. Yeah, about him not
Yeah.
wanting to finish last on the score sheet.
it?
Yeah.
No, because look, Cal Crutchlow, who rode for a while behind him, said that he was riding pretty well,
Mhm.
and then suddenly he started to shake his head, to move on the bike, and then to do this. So Cal passed him. So what went on Maverick's head? Basically, we know that what he says, that he was frustrated, that his frustration was immense, and it came out that way. That is something super unprofessional. Remember also that on Yamaha's statement, they said that he put in danger the engine,
Mhm.
he put in danger himself, and he put in danger the riders who were
People around him.
Mhm.
on the track with him.
Yep.
Yep.
So Maverick was silent. He stayed at the circuit. He didn't leave the circuit.
Wow,
And we
okay.
saw him on the track side during the practices, watching the
Smiling, happy.
yeah, happy. And then suddenly he was silent, I think, for 3 days.
Mhm.
Yes. And then suddenly he went to the Italian TV and he explained, "No, I am very sorry. I didn't behave. I realize and I admit that I didn't behave correctly. I shouldn't do this." So he admitted.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At that point, he admitted the story.
Mm.
So, and he apologized. What we don't know, only he will know and his people around, if it was a real, I am sorry, or contract wise, he had to do this.
Yeah.
That's what I took
Aprilia-
it as, because
Yeah,
he was
Aprilia have
waiting.
told him he has to.
Yep, that's what I took it as.
No, Aprilia, no, he's probably his manager. But
Okay,
because
yes.
Mhm.
I don't know in your place, but here in the Spanish jurisdiction, you say,
Mhm.
if somebody accuses you of something and you keep silent, you are agreeing with what he says.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ah, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep.
But
Yep.
this is when you go to court, here it's the law. So if somebody writes to you an email and say, "You are an idiot," and
Yeah.
if you don't answer, "I am not,"
Then you're an idiot.
the law assumes that you agree. You understand?
Right. Okay.
I don't know if the way you, because we have different way of
It's it's
applying.
the opposite here, pretty much. Yeah.
Innocent
So-
till proven guilty.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there, Maverick went out and say, "Yes, I did it, but I am sorry. I apologize. I didn't
Mhm.
meant it." So I don't know if this was to cover a possible problem with the rest of the contract he has,
Right. Okay. Yep.
or it was a sincere apologize. All right.
Yeah.
Then what happens? Then the story, he apologized, and now it's in Yamaha's hands to decide whether he is going to race the next races or he won't race any race anymore.
Yeah. That's. Do we have
What do
any
you
clarity on that? I don't
What
think.
do you think?
I don't think. From what I've seen, I thought that was it. He's not going to be with Yamaha at all anymore. That's what I'm feeling. So it seems like they need another rider for the rest of the season.
Andra?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be back on. I think he's done his dash. He went too far.
Yep.
Look, all the riders, all his colleagues obviously say, "No, he has apologized now.
It's okay.
Yamaha
Yeah.
should let him race." But we know how the Japanese are,
Exactly.
For
That's
the
what I was going to say
Japanese-
next. Yes.
For the Japanese, no is no, especially when you have lost the respect for the company, for the engineers who have worked
Yep.
to give you what you have.
Mhm.
It's a lack of respect for the
Exactly.
Yeah.
Japanese.
Exactly.
If the end decision is in the hands of Westerns, maybe the outcome will be different. But if the decision is in Japan,
Mhm.
the
Yep.
cross.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. The funeral.
So I am very curious to see what is going to happen
Yeah.
with this
Definitely.
situation.
Yeah, you
So
can't-
do we-
And but look, and
when do we
sorry,
think
sorry.
we're gonna know? Because obviously we've got Silverstone in 2 weeks' time. So will we see him
don't know.
Thursday, Wednesday in the paddock?
because you know that when all this happened in Japan, they were on holidays.
Mm.
So the team took this first decision, and the final decision has to be taken by somebody in Japan. And
Yep.
as they were on holidays, they just took this short-term decision.
Yep.
And this week they have returned from holidays. So I don't know what they are going to do, sincerely. And therefore, the announcement of Maverick going to Aprilia Monday after the race, when all this situation is still open, it's blooding, you say, bleeding,
Yes.
no?
Mhm.
Yep. It's
Oh,
putting blood in the water.
Yeah, I don't know who was the genius in communication who decided to. We have hired Maverick Vinales, the one who has exploded the engine of another manufacturer.
Yep,
The
exactly.
one who is ready to get fired. Why doing
Yep.
it? Just wait.
They had the work
Mm.
experience boy doing the media.
So Aprilia, they have remember Iannone, the situation with Iannone. How
Yes. Yeah.
bad did they
Uh-huh.
handle the situation?
Yeah.
Now, the one I promise you, I don't understand which is the communication strategy of this.
Mm. Yeah, it's
Bo-
ridiculous.
Bo-
And you've got exactly. You've got Savadori there as well, who's hurt himself, but he wants to come back and he's racing for the rest of the year. He's got no motivation to race for the rest of the year at all now as well. They could have left it until later in the year and given Savadori a bit of respect and let him race through the rest of the year as well.
Well, look, there is no mercy in MotoGP. Remember what they did with Petrucci 2 weeks ago. With when you are there, when you are at the elite, amigo, it's dead or alive. There is no intermediate.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So
and then Stu, the question is, look, I think that everybody will ask themselves, okay, if Maverick is going to be fired from Yamaha, will he race this season with Aprilia?
Well, yeah, that's the other side of the equation. Exactly. And that's what I was kind of getting to. That's right. So
didn't think
if we don't see him in Silverstone with Yamaha, are we going to see him with Aprilia? What's that do for Savadori?
Maybe that's why they announced it when they did.
It's very clear. Again, just think, it only will happen if Maverick gets fired and he gets money to stop racing.
Yeah,
he won't race in another team. If he leaves Yamaha free without getting any cash, then he's free to race. But imagine if Yamaha will pay him anything and seeing him sitting on a bike the following weekend. Impossible.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's
no way.
Not going to happen.
That would be okay. Big. How do you say ears? Like
radars.
No, ears.
Like a fox.
Donkey ears.
Oh, like a donkey. Donkey ears.
No, so the situation will depend how. If Maverick finishes with Yamaha, in which terms?
Yes. Yeah.
When do you anticipate we'll hear something?
I don't know. It has to be before Silverstone. But if he leaves in a way, you are sacked and you don't get any money, then he might perfectly race as a wildcard.
Right. Okay. Are you talking to his dad at all? Like, can you get anything out of his dad?
No, I think that his dad is looking for me, so I am hiding.
That's why you look like you're in a bunker.
No, it's better to be hidden for a couple of weeks so everything settles down, because I say what I think. What can I do?
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes what I think is not the best for my physical integrity.
Hence why you're in a bomb shelter.
It looks like,
exactly.
Oh
God.
Goodness.
So the other side of the coin, Savadori. So what do you know? Has he got a contract only until the end of the year, or
no? Yamaha, Aprilia said that Savadori will keep connected with them.
They said he'll keep him in the family.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
the family. Wow. When the
Yep.
Italians say family, you better get on cover, you know.
So what, maybe test rider or
Yeah, but Salvadori knew perfectly that he was there because there was nobody else, because his
Yeah.
level is not to be a MotoGP rider.
Mm.
But we will see. We will see. And Maverick, once again, I don't know what went through his head when he tried to explode everything, because with the actual data recording,
Hmm.
you are caught whatever you do on the bike.
yeah, there was no hiding it.
Yeah, in the past you could say no, because the bike did this and that, and then they had nothing to say because it was the rider's opinion. But now they have like how do you say when they put you
Like a lie
to know if you
detector.
are-
Lie
Yes,
detector.
Yes,
Yep.
it is. It's a
exactly.
lie detector.
They are always under a lie detector completely.
Yeah.
So what
Exactly.
about the Yamaha seat?
The
Can we-
Yamaha. No,
Well,
the
who's
Yamaha
going to take
seat
his
is-
place?
Good
Yeah,
question.
if he
We will
does go,
see.
yeah.
We can.
If he does go, I don't know. It seems that they have asked Carl, and Carl said that he has to ask his family if it makes sense to.
Mhm.
They
Mm.
have a problem. They have a real problem with that bike, and basically being the factory team, they can't just sit anyone on that bike. It's
Mm.
more serious than the Petronas, it has to be, or the test rider. Remember what Honda did with Marquez? It was the Stefan Bradl who
Yep.
raced the whole season.
Yep.
Can they
Should be
take?
something
Can they
like this.
take a rider from? Can they have agreements within whoever's already in MotoGP to go from perhaps a satellite bike to a factory bike for a race or two, or can they do those kind of arrangements?
It should be Morbidelli, but I don't know. But imagine, look, Morbidelli races with a bike that is not the same than the factory bike, and he has a certain number of engines he can use during a year, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
So how will they do this?
Yeah. Is it
With
going to
how
count
many
as an
engines-
engine for Morbidelli, or is it going to count as a,
And how many engines would they give him when he starts racing with another bike? So
yeah.
I don't know. It's probably there will be a legal problem there, no?
Yeah. These riders, they like to find new and interesting ways to stuff up the system, don't they?
And I thought last season was crazy. This is
Yes. It's now crazy
but-
off the track as well as on the track.
Mhm.
And Maverick has signed just 1 year for Aprilia. Okay.
Right.
So Aprilia did the right move, because we said here many times that in the past, with the same bike, in the same team, Maverick has always been faster than Aleix Espargaro
Yes. Yeah.
with the same bike. So Aprilia is just checking how good his bike is. So they are doing well, they are doing well, because if things are normal and Maverick is normal mentally, then they can really realize how good the bike is. If the bike is better than the one is showing Aleix, then the bike is starting to get attractive for many riders whose contract will finish it at the end of 2022.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
he's a gateway. He's not a long-term prospect for them. He's just a gateway to get other riders.
Or maybe he jumps on the bike and does very well. But the thing is, Aprilia is double checking his bike.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. I had a dinner. I was having dinner Saturday night near the circuit with my brother Giovanni Zamagni. So suddenly a friend of him dressed in Aprilia appeared. A guy who was in the past with Valentino Rossi. I know them for years, for many years. And we started to talk about, now he is the electronic engineer of Aleix Espargaro. We started to chat. And then at a certain point, I told him, is there a chance that Aleix tomorrow finishes on the podium? He looked at me like, say,
like you look at me
and lifted, how do you say, his eyebrows. Like, no, look, in Aprilia, they realize that Aleix is what it is. he helped him. He helped Aprilia a lot to develop the bike, but they realized that he's what he is.
Yeah. Hence why they went looking for Dovi as well to try and get some more.
Yeah,
good
somebody.
data,
And after Valentino leaving the championship, Aleix is now the new grandfather of the championship. And he hasn't
exactly.
Oh my
he hasn't won the
goodness.
race.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Coming
that's the
crazy.
situation
Indeed.
in Aprilia. So it will, Stu, do one of your short
One of my little summaries.
reductions.
Sum it
Yeah,
up.
Okay.
Go.
So the Vinales situation. So he was fired on Sunday. He was very apologetic on the weekend. He was rehired by Aprilia on the Monday. We don't know if he's going to ride for or who he's going to ride for the rest of the year. If he keeps riding for Yamaha, then they've got rocks in their head. If he doesn't ride for Yamaha, then Yamaha have to find a rider for that bike for the rest of the year. If he doesn't ride for Yamaha, then does he ride for Aprilia for the rest of the year, or does he sit out for the rest of the year? We don't know. We need to wait and see the announcements as to exactly what the circumstances of him leaving are before we can then go and figure out what the rest of the information is.
That's the absolute clue.
Stu, you're amazing. That was incredible. That's how you're going to do that every single one of these.
You know what? I think he uses a lot of Twitter because he knows how to do
144
everything
characters.
In little bits. Yes. I want to have a crack at this one day just for fun. Next one we do.
I've just got a short attention span. That's all it is.
That's amazing. No, I'm
Brilliant.
impressed, Stu. That was bloody brilliant.
It's crazy. It's an evolving situation, ladies and gentlemen.
You're like a translator for Manuel.
I'm a journalist translator. That's what it is, indeed.
Yes.
Yep, for sure. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. That's the inside line, the gossip on what's going on. Well, actually, no, not the gossip. It's the facts. It's the facts on what's going on and the most likely scenarios as to what's going to happen out of the Vinales debacle. The Vinales brain explosion. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, get on the socials, tell all your friends about it. There's loads of episodes of the Pecino Report coming out. We've had some great racing in Austria, and we're going to see you in a couple of weeks in Silverstone. Until then, take it easy, everyone. Bye.
Adios.